Good day, everyone.
Today, we presented a survey about the daily screen time of 37 NBC students using different math and statistic tools. The study helped us learn about students' screen time and how statistics are used in real life.
I will discuss the mean, median, and mode of the given data set. The data contains 38 values. First, for the mean, we use the formula. The total sum of all the values is 192.5, and the number of the values is 38. So 192.5 divided by 38 equals 5.07. Therefore, the mean or average of the data is 5.07. Next is the median, which is the middle value of the data when arranged in order. Since we have 38 values, which is an even number, we have used this formula. The 19 and 20 values are both 5. So median 5 plus 5 divided 2 equals 5. This means half of the values are below 5 and half are above 5. Next is the mode, which is the value that appears most often. From the data, the value 6 appears the most, which is 5 times. Therefore, the mode is 6. This means 6 is the most common value in the data set. The range shows the difference between highest and lowest value in the data. The formula is range equals highest value minus lowest value. To get the range, we subtract the lowest value from the highest value. The highest value is 10 and the lowest value is 1. So 10 minus 1 equals 9. Therefore, the range is 9. Next is variance, which measures how spread out the data is from the mean. The formula is S squared equals the summation of f times the quantity x minus x bar squared all over number minus 1. After completing the table and computations, we get S squared equals 155.0 divided by 37 equals 4.46. And lastly, for the standard deviation, S equals the square root of 4.46 equals 2.11. Standard deviations tells us the average distance the data values from the mean. To find the standard deviation, we get the square root of the variance. Since the variance 4.46, we take its square root. Therefore, the standard deviation is 2.11.
So, question letter C, determine the range of values that contains the middle 68% of the data. So, use the formula mean and standard deviation. Mean plus or minus standard deviation. So, mean is 5, standard deviation 2.11. And next is subtract the standard deviation, which is 5 minus 2.11 equals 2.89. The next is add. So add plus 2.11 equals 7.11. So the answer is 2.89 and 7.11. So this means that the middle 68% of the students spend around 2.89 to 7.11 hours on their screen time. So, question letter D. Compute the z-scores of 3.5 hours and 8 hours. So, the formula is z equals the value minus the mean divided by the standard deviation. So, the given is mean and the standard deviation, which is 5 and 2.11. So, first is the 3.5 hours. So, z equals 3.5 minus 5 divided by 2.11. So, 3.5 minus 5 so equals 1.5, so 1.5 divided by 11 so equals 0.79, so the final answer is 0.71. So the value of 3.5 hours is 0.71 standard deviation below the mean. This means the students spend less screen time than the average students.
Letter E. What values belong to the top 20% and the bottom 10% of the data? So the answer of the letter E, which is the bottom is 10% and approximately
2.3 hours and below. The top 20 is the approximately is 6.5 hours and above. Letter F. Determine the proportion of students who have 7 hours or less of daily screen time. So the answer of the letter F is students with 7 hours or less is 32 and the total of students is 37. So we can add that into a 32 divide 37, which is the total is 0.865, and the final answer is 0.865 or 86.5%.
I'll be discussing now letter G. What is the probability that a randomly selected student has 8 hours or more of daily screen time? First, identify the given values. The mean is 5.07 and the standard deviation is 2.11. Since we are looking for the probability of 8 hours or more, we solve for the z-score using the formula z equals x minus mean divided by standard deviation. And after that, substituting the values, we get z equals 8 minus 5.07 divided by 2.11, which gives approximately 1.39. And next, check the z-table. The probability to the left of 1.39 is 0.9177. Because the question asks for 8 hours or more, we subtract from 1, therefore, 1 minus 0.9177 equals 0.0823. So, the probability that a randomly selected student has 8 hours or more of daily screen time is 0.0823 or 8.23%. So let's move on to this. We have letter H. Approximately what is the daily screen time of a randomly selected student with a z-score of 1.25? For letter H, we are given a z-score of 1.25 and asked to find the daily screen time. We use the formula x equals mean plus z times standard deviation. And after that, substituting the values. X equals 5.07 plus 1.25 times 2.11. Then multiplying 1.25 and 2.11 gives 2.6375. And adding this to the mean, 5.07 plus 2.6375 equals approximately 7.71. So the daily screen time of a student with a z-score of 1.25 is approximately 7.71 hours. So this would be all our video presentation together with my team. Thank you for listening.